Hello, and welcome back to the Public Safety Special Broadcast. I am your host, Public Safety Communications Division 18 Vice Captain, Secret Doves. Joining you from the Public Safety Hypersecure Media Bunker in an unspecified location, today I am joined by two returning guests. We have Rory and Sam from Tracking Shots. Rory, a community analyst. I'd like everybody to go around and introduce themselves, name, age, and devil contract. Of course, I am Secret Doves, age 33, contracted with the War Devil. Rory, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Rory. I am 20. I forgot that because last time I was 19. And I'm contracted with the Yuri Devil.
Powerful, strong.
Mhm.
I'm Sam, 26, contracted with the Coffee Devil, public safety intern.
You know, Coffee Devil probably not that strong, but who knows?
Some people fear it.
According to canon. Yeah.
Yeah, because power scaling for devils always makes sense.
Yeah. That's the very first power scaling for devils we get is the Coffee Devil by Makima. Speaking of Makima, today on the broadcast, we are talking about chapter 149 of Chainsaw Man, Devil's Choice. What a chapter it was. A nice chunky one, 20 pages after many, many weeks of having like 15 to 18 pages of action. We're taking a step back. We're slowing things down just a little bit this time. We're going to try and get through everything, but man, there's a lot to talk about in this one. So I'm just going to start with stuff that I don't think has been discussed as much. Namely, first 2 pages, the world is going insane. We have the comeback of Mr. Soapbox from the Bat Devil chapter. He was yelling about how everyone's dying of devils. He was saying, we are at war with the devils. An OG Yoru fan from way back. And now he's getting everybody to burn Chainsaw Man. So
he bought stock in war early.
Yes. He was like, this guy is making deal with weapons contractors and stuff. Like, they got him out there on the street pushing propaganda. I hadn't thought of this guy as a prophecy believer, but apparently he is. So, this is all like the church believe. Like, what is this faction now? Like, what's happening to Tokyo?
Well, it seems like he doesn't seem to be like properly with the Chainsaw Man church, because like he's saying like burn the Chainsaw Man army to ashes, but it seems like any like low-level cult organization can just kind of glom on to whatever they want in the Chainsaw Man universe.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
sure.
In a world where crazy things happen like all the time, it's like, oh, well, I can say that this is justification for my bullshit compared to someone else's.
Okay, so now he's making his own. Okay. This is
I don't think Fujimoto has a high opinion of like society.
No. Yeah, it's not looking great for people. Overall, this chapter not looking so good. Rory, what do you think about this change in the situation in the streets of Tokyo?
I think Rory is having some technical difficulties. So...
stream has died on me. Okay. Should come back soon. We'll kill a little time until then.
Sure. On the note of like Fujimoto's like portrayal of like the public,
mm-hmm.
Do you sometimes think it's a little too much? Like, I feel like it's so they're all consistently so crazy all the time. Which I get. I know he's trying to make a point, and you have to like exaggerate in a story.
It's a little heavy-handed. Everyone outside of the main cast seems really fucking stupid.
Yeah, like everyone in the school, everyone like just walking around, they always run into like cultists or anti-devil people. I get, because this devil's walking among the people, it's kind of scary. But yeah, I feel like a lot of chapters have started with a crazy mob of people being like hyped up on violence and murder and whatnot.
Yes, it's definitely it's it's a pretty cynical view of humanity.
Although I get the only time I can think of, we have a little bit of an echo. The only time I can think of where like we've seen like normal people just being normal people is when the Fall Devil like first arrived and that whole apartment complex, and we just saw people like
when they were
going about
just
their day to day, and then
that
didn't work out for them.
Leaping to their death. You know, the Chainsaw Man world is
it's a bad time.
It's kind of a mess. Roy,
it's not somewhere you want to be like Isekai too.
Yeah, definitely don't take me there. Rory, what did you think of this change on the situation in the streets of Tokyo?
I wanted to say something about, like, piggyback off what Sam was saying about how the world is a bit of a shit show in general, because I was thinking about how no one really seems to care about the kids or being in a cult. It's kind of just part of the they sort of just let it happen, and it's all televised, and they don't really do anything about it, as if it's just like the structures of what power, it just completely shot, which is so interesting.
Yeah,
well, the adults in the first 2 pages, right? Like this is like the salary man perspective of the Chainsaw Man universe.
Yeah, these are the functional adults of society getting together to burn people.
Right.
Oh, ooh, yeah.
And while the kids in the series are not really making the best choices either, they're at least like they seem to recognize a need for like an extreme change in how things operate.
They don't really have the best role models.
No, they do not.
Yeah, I mean that didn't exactly lead anywhere good for them all, because now they're chainsaw monsters too.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was saying that I was having a discussion on Twitter that Fujimoto has this really kind of strong misanthropy about him. Like, he really is not, it seems like his baseline evaluation of people isn't great.
It's low. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, they don't seem so smart or as in control as perhaps they imagine.
Yeah, I could use a little like toning down, but I don't think we're gonna get that considering we're going to I just like when a manga shows like what a normal person's reaction to like an insane manga tinted world is.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
There's a weird pull, but there's a good moment in Tokyo Ghoul where you just see like inside the apartment building of like a random person, and outside that guy's window is just chaos.
Right. Is that at the end with like
towards the end? Yeah, with
he's going nuts.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that's like always a really cool perspective, and I liked that in the Falling Devil bit before things really went. Probably the most insane that has happened so far in this part.
Yes, things are going crazy. Yeah.
The world turned upside down.
Well, humanity's not looking good. Things are going nuts for humanity. Adults are burning children. Great, good stuff. Seems like a normal functioning society.
The kids are not all right.
Yeah, they're not all right. The adults are not all right. Nobody's doing good except for Yoru. Yoru is winning. Okay. But not this chapter. Speaking of winning, let's talk about Fumiko. Fumiko's little moment here. She tries to keep Denji and Nayuta from heading back to their apartment because, she thinks they're going to get jumped at their apartment. And it does not go her way. She cannot handle Nayuta's sauce. What do you think about this? Are we done with Fumiko? Is she gone forever? You know, did Nayuta do anything wrong? Nayuta did nothing wrong. What's going on here?
Where do you think she would take them? Like a public safety bunker?
Yeah, one of our hyper secure media bunkers, bring them over here. Yeah, I mean, they have all of those cells, put them back in the cells.
Well, like the running gag with this character. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't get why she thinks there would be people camping out. Because does the church know Denji? I mean, yeah, no, but like the general. No, okay, hold on. No, I mean like
higher level versus like medium level versus like general public. Like who knows Chainsaw Man's real identity?
It's true. I mean, Barem knows who Denji is, so, and he knows about Nayuta, so it seems like they know everything, right?
Well, she's not trying to protect them from public safety, though, just from the church.
Right, but the church, Barem seems to know everything. Makima, Nayuta.
Well, there's the bit where she's first introduced, where he fights off the people with the bats, and it seems like random criminal organizations like know who he is, but it's still not clear if that was like a public safety ploy or something that she orchestrated, or
no, not again.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I was wondering if she was in the middle of saying stuff.
Yeah, a little technical difficulties, unfortunate. That is a devil that is strong, and that many people fear.
Technical difficulties devil, truly the most fearsome devil in the podcasting universe.
Absolutely.
We'll get it back.
Yeah, here's hoping. But yeah, like it's some people know who Denji is, and like world governments know who he is, but that's not the current issue. So it's it's not clear. Yeah,
we're still kind of in the dark. I mean, we're in the dark about so much stuff. I do agree with some people that the very, very limited perspective that Fujimoto has gone for in part 2 can get kind of annoying, especially given how much stuff he likes to dangle in from the outside. You know what I mean? He likes to just give a little sprinkle of like, this is going on and that is going on and that is going. You're like, okay, what's that about?
And we've spent so much time with Denji lately, who in this part we're not getting his internal thoughts. So it's we're only getting stuff told to us from Denji.
Yes.
And there's not as much humor with that because we don't have his thought bubbles just thinking or misinterpreting things ridiculously.
I know.
So we end up with just a lot of Fujimoto, like Denji, just looking more and more despondent, which is funny and has been a good gag throughout the whole part. But we're kind of missing that.
Yes, the juice of like
that
what
balance
is
a little off. Yeah.
Okay. Looks like Rory's internet is down for good. So
do we want to take a break or do we want to?
We will. Well, you know what? Let's just press on. We could two-man it. The first ever two-man broadcast here on the Public Safety Special Broadcast.
I would have done my homework better.
We're carrying on. Yeah. Guess what, Sam? All right, it's you and me. Mono ain't mono. We're taking it down.
Sounds like a plan.
We're doing it. All right, I'll get back in here. Yes. Like I do. I mean, we were talking about this a couple episodes ago, but I do want a little bit more like juice of what's going on. Everything we've gotten has been very interesting. You know, like Quan Chi's back, Katana Man is back. They're working with public safety. What's the deal there?
Mm-hmm.
Public safety itself seems to have changed quite a bit. They've got like devil identifiers now, which is probably pretty useful for them.
They brought some of the weapons into the fold, which is exciting and has exciting potential.
You know, are they doing anything with Reze?
That's always the question.
Big. But where is Reze? Huge question mark hanging over the series. But we're not gonna find. I don't. We might find about a little bit more soon.
But this series isn't about public safety, or this part isn't about public safety.
No,
that was part one, so it's really
exactly.
We're not exactly going to class anymore either, so who knows?
Well, before Denji goes to school, he will have to go home and change into his uniform, which he is able to do because Fumiko gets rolled, completely packed up. She doesn't do. What does she even do?
She runs away, but she lives. That's better than public safety fodder in the first part. She's smart enough. I mean, she got a bite taken out of her last chapter, and now she's having a bad day for sure.
Yeah, things ain't going her way. Okay. I've been asking this question, and we still don't know because she ran off. What is your take on this character? Like, who the fuck is this? Like, what's the point of this character?
Well, so she got like major death flags a few chapters ago when we kind of got her, at least the backstory she gave Denji, which is that she was inspired by him and his fight with Aki, and it's a weird little like moment.
That's not something you want to be inspired by.
No, it isn't. But again, without having that Denji perspective, it's hard to say how he's influenced by that. Like he seems like if this was part one, I would assume that she was a character that was meant to bring some humanity out of Denji, right? Like that's what a lot of characters served that purpose in part one. But we don't know where Denji's at. He's not even necessarily in a bad place, except for the fact that he wants to be Chainsaw Man, like that push and pull of that whole thing.
Right.
And she's otherwise perspective saying, don't be Chainsaw Man. But that's kind of the only perspective he's getting. So she kind of blends in with everybody else.
That's true. She's kind of she has that unique angle of like she's not worried about Chainsaw Man. She's apparently worried about Denji in kind of this weird toxic way, you know. But she is actually worried about him, not the character, the icon, the Civil War. Yeah, she's actually, according to her perspective, according to herself, she's trying to help Denji out. Although, great job.
She's not good at her job. I mean,
she's not doing good, dude.
But it's a hard gig. I mean, public safety has to deal with a lot. It's it's what are the like buzzwords for like an application? Like you must have great think on your feet skills, and you have to like
we were at the changing workplace environment, you know.
Dynamic workplace environment. Yeah.
Yes, dynamic.
It's hard to be a public safety officer.
Yeah, I mean,
the fact that she's alive is she's doing okay.
She's living. She survived an encounter with the Control Devil, which most public safety people did not.
No,
we know that goes down usually.
Yeah, it's typically a bad time. But what I was kind of getting at earlier is I don't feel like I thought it was going to be like, a character that gets introduced and that we learn to like, and then is like killed off for some shock value or stakes or what have you. But I feel like if she was to die right now, most people wouldn't be too broken up about it. So I don't know if that's the right.
No.
Like,
Yeah,
I gotta
honestly,
wonder if she's got a bigger purpose down the line.
yeah, I mean, she ran off, right? And I think very obviously this is not the last we're gonna see of her.
Right.
I think that much is clear. Although I had commented that if she ran off and didn't come back, I literally don't think anyone would make a big deal about it.
Well, she did like Yoshida in the first part where it's like, whatever happened to that person?
Yeah, like well, okay, she ran away. She got scared of Nayuta, ran away. That makes sense. You know what I mean? I would be terrified too. I did really like in this sequence. I loved the tickle attack scene. That was just fucking pure Fujimoto, like,
Yeah, take something like pure and innocent and give it like the highest stakes possible. Like,
yes,
perfect.
My kids. I mean, that we were talking about Nayuta the Prophecy, Yoga no Nayuta, before the broadcast a little bit. That's a very Yoga
one shot. Right?
Yeah, the one shot. Of what I think. I mean, I think it is the original concept of Nayuta's character, which is crazy that he spent.
It is. I mean, like it's her. It's the design. Like,
right. It's the design. It's her design. Give her the Makima braid.
It's everything.
Yeah, it's everything. And also, I mean, he even directly referenced it in the in chapter 147. When he's like, she's a witch who's going to bring destruction to the world, right? Literally, just straight up lifting the lines out of the one shot. So, I mean, that's pretty crazy to me, actually, that he carried that concept, because he brought Nayuta into the story at the end of part 1, and he wrote Nayuta the Prophecy well before part 1 started, like before Fire Punch started. So he
definitely likes that dynamic of like ultra powerful character who has like the mind of a child or like the personality of a child.
Yeah, Devils are all kind of like that in a way. Yeah. They have this very pure. What do you call that? Just like instinctual, just following their desires
based on like very sensory input, I guess. I don't know, like Fammy wanting just food, and that being like her whole. I kind of still believe that's her whole motivation, even if she's going about things.
I don't know if I buy the food thing, because the thing is, she's portrayed her own like motives so obliquely. That's the most directly she's put it.
Yeah, but she's also it's so much like the villain.
It is
Punch. Like I do kind of buy it.
It is.
I think her methods are where like the mystery with her come, and now we know at least some of what her plan is.
Yeah, and another devil who thinks whose plan is to save humanity, who is just killing a bunch of humans.
Right. Save them in the most drastic and like bad way ever. Yeah.
It's like they're all just Ozymandias from Watchmen, but they don't even care about the weighing the numbers. They're just like, I don't know. Humans die, whatever.
Continent or two, and it'll be right.
As long as there are enough to make pizza and Chinese food left, I'm good. I don't know.
Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Oh yeah.
It's good times.
Very Togata pilled. Fammy is
best moments in Fire Punch.
It's one of the best moments in manga. Period. Just real Fujimoto cinema. Speaking of which, this conversation, the Nayuta Denji conversation. Fumiko ski-daddles.
Yes.
Gets the hell out of here. Gets the hell out of Dodge after Denji defuses the situation with a tickle attack.
Oh, one quick question on the fighting. Do you think that she was aiming for her or already aiming for the old woman? Like, I was wondering if that was like skill or luck, basically.
Oh, she lined him up. You know what I mean? That's the pin and the fork tactics right there. It's like you either I either get you and you're done, or you dodge and I get you with the old lady. You know, she's got a she's smart enough to go to college. You know what I mean? She's she's a tactician.
She could get a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yes, she could win the Nobel Prize
and be president
and become prime minister and set the income tax to 100%. Although the income tax in Japan is already on its way to 100% IRL, probably.
It's high. I just like that she's like still maybe not as capable as Makima, but like pretty capable and pretty like, in control of her powers, like more than I would have expected before we started seeing a little bit of her and Denchi's life.
Yes, we are. This chapter, in a lot of ways, is sort of finally pulling back the curtain on Nayuta's character. She's been around, and we've gotten glimpses and little splashes of what she has going on and what her and Denchi's life is like.
Right, he has like the offhanded comments about like the rules they have set for each other, and
it
seems like there's been incidents in the past. Is what the implication is. Like,
it
took a while to reach this like fragile peace where she's not like killing a bunch of people or what have you.
Well, she's probably just taking over animals constantly, you know, just like controlling random people that she ran into, just because, you know, this is how she does, you know, that's just her thing. She's a control devil. She's a devil, you know. That's your little sister is a devil. Again, Yogen no Nayuta. You know, you gotta set the boundaries. Hey, no dominating humanity. Hey, no taking over the world.
Right, but it seems like frivolous. Like, don't take over like the mailman or something.
Yes, don't take over the mailman, please. Don't break into other people's apartments. That's a good one.
Yeah, don't open any door other than our door is one of them. And it's like, what is happening? What happened there?
Yeah, don't just walk in to other people's apartments and take all their stuff and do whatever you want.
Right.
And finally, in this chapter, we are getting into it. The tickle attack diffuses the Fumiko situation. Fumiko's not going down just yet.
No.
You know, she's got something more to give. My read on Fumiko, which I had come to a few times, is that this fits into my broad theory of Chainsaw Man is a shoujo manga. You know what I mean? You feel me? It is a shoujo rom-com at its core since day one. From the very beginning, always. Fumiko is the toxic rival character. You know what I mean? The dangerous hottie who comes in, and in a shoujo manga, you know, Fujimoto obviously goes the most sicko, just like freak mode you can possibly go with it. But in a shoujo manga, you know, they'd be like the dangerous dude who steals a kiss. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then
you're talking about their like weird, bizarre date they have when she's first introduced.
Yeah, whatever the fuck is going on for the movie scenario. That was very, you know, real classic. Like, comes in, guns blazing, does some horrible shit that everybody hates. They're like, you kissed her, but the other guy is supposed to kiss her first. Ah! And then everybody hates him. Everybody hates the toxic rival. And they're like, this guy's a fucking evil, problematic. Fans do not interact. You know, you got all the stuff going,
and then gets her own faction of fans that people obsessed
with. And then people hate the fans of the toxic rival. You know, this is classic shoujo. Like,
and you have the little sister character who's not an option, but is jealous and is getting in the way of everything. The pieces are starting to line up.
You're seeing it. You're seeing it. So
I don't agree with the vision, but I see it. You
see the vision. Yes.
Inspired. Yeah.
Yeah, so Fumiko is now running away. The toxic rival comes in, does some toxic shit, drops a sad backstory, and you're like, now wait a minute though, that's kind of sad. Although I don't think
maybe
hers
she
is
has,
that
yeah,
sad.
maybe she had a hard childhood, maybe maybe the rival's not that bad. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, both my parents died in a devil attack. It's very low. It's very low grade for Chainsaw Man universe. It's like that's like literally every damn character's their parents died in the devil attack, and they are like this. So I don't know.
Denji's, weirdly enough, it's like everybody but Denji.
Yeah. Well,
his has other problems, but
yes, his childhood had many other
issues,
wild issues, but they did not die to devils. Probably why he's one of the only characters who cares about devils, like for real.
Well, we were talking to Rory earlier about how like the kids are not all right and how people like the past that there's so many orphans just left over and all these attacks and all these major Chainsaw Man moments, and it's like, well, you either get completely just like abandoned by the system and just have to kind of make it on your own, like Asa, and then you end up in public safety, like Aki or Fumiko, and that doesn't end up well ever either.
Yeah, no.
Or you get scooped up by like one of these like this church organization. It all ends badly. It's just bad all around.
Yeah, Fujimoto cannot stand any power structure. Like any power structure that shows up for 1 minute is either going to be destroyed or just completely corrupt. Like there's nothing.
Right. And it keeps getting me too, because like when Asa is at the orphanage, like in the flashback, you're like, okay, she had some help for a minute there. She has the cat still, and then it's just all bad all the time.
It's just all abuse all the way down, and he always goes back in the cycle of abuse because the orphan lady, she's all mad because she's an orphan too, and it's like,
she's like jealous of like the attention, and it's all like very very basic human reactions that then result in just unimaginable cruelty.
Yeah, again, the misanthropy is there, but it's not all misanthropy, which I
back to the shoujo
back to the shoujo verse. Yes, Fumiko ran off. I think she will be back. The classic toxic rival structure. They run off. They do some toxic shit. Everybody hates them. They get a little humanization, and it tears the fandom apart, which it has done. And then the toxic rival, disappears, and everyone goes, "Yay!" And then they come back to either do something really good, and then all their fans feel justified, or to do something super horrible again.
Right.
So we're gonna get her back. My guess. I say this every week. I think Kishibe is coming back. I think she ran off to get her boss, Kishibe.
More the way it goes on. I mean, I know we got Quan Chi recently.
Yes.
Sorry, I have echo. I'm not sure how I can fix that. But
it's all good.
I feel like the longer this goes on, the more likely we're going to not get him until right before the final battle. Like he'll go in, he'll set the stage, he'll give some advice that'll either be ignored or taken, and then we won't see him again. But I've been wrong before. I wouldn't have thought that Quan Chi would be coming back. So.
Oh really?
I did not expect that. I thought the weapon devils that we had spent a lot of time with last part were if they came back, we're not going to be that important, and that seems to be definitely not the case.
Yeah, Quan Chi, where is she, dude? Speaking of Quan Chi, where the fuck is Quan Chi, dude?
Because I feel that way about Rize, even though I love that character, it felt like we already got her story tied up in a nice bow and got the surprise she's back, and it's just another like little knife in the heart during the finale of part 1. That character feels really tapped, but maybe not,
Yeah, I mean, if this is a shoujo, the old flame,
Oh yeah,
another classic rival. You
first
got
love. Oh yeah,
you got the toxic rival, and then you got the first love rival come back. I mean, this is pure gas.
And the
You've
whole
already
time we know it's actually going to be the character on the cover.
yeah.
It's going to be
Yes. Miri fans, wake the fuck up, dude. Miri
not
cover.
happening. Yeah, that is
Oh,
the sixth cover of this part. It's not the first guy. It's going to be the character on the first volume cover. That's the rule.
Oh yeah, Yoru.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah,
I suppose
Yoru.
it's Yoru, not us, isn't it?
Yoru wins, of course.
So.
Of course, Yoru wins. We all knew this.
I fed your fantasy.
Yeah, Yoru wins. It's not a fantasy. This is canon. This is happening. We all know it.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's go. Speaking of we'll see what's up with Nayuta right now, because the back half of this chapter is one that has gotten the most discussion.
Mm-hmm. For good reason.
Yeah. Like I said, this chapter we basically pull back the curtain on Nayuta. This is one of the. I mean, if you're talking about Fujimoto characterization, this is how it is. This is how it works. If you are looking for more juice out of Nayuta, I would not hold your breath, because this is the kind of chapter Fujimoto drops and he's like, that's the character. Do your thing.
It seems like all the conflict with her has been resolved by the end of this chapter. Like, her perspective shifts and then shifts back. Like, it seems like we are done with her characterization, except for whatever choice she may end up having to make.
Right.
Whenever things really boil over.
Right. Will she maintain her promise in the name of threat? Speaking of the promise, their discourse, they're talking about, should they join the devil side and abandon humanity? This was a very polarizing moment. How did you read this, Sam? Let me get your thoughts, just straight up overall.
So I haven't done a part 2 or a back half of part 2 reread. So I'm a little confused. So she wants to join the devil's side, but that's not exactly what the death devils or the famine devil's plan is. Like, it's not devil's rule of the world. It's
so
increase the strength of war and Chainsaw Man so that they can have a 3-person fight against death to stop the ultimate death of humanity. That's not what she's saying. She's not going for. She's going for more of join the death devil side, I suppose. If you have to put it on the side,
she is talking about. This again. Nothing is explained here.
Yeah.
So but joining the devil.
I'm not as deep into it at the moment. I'm like, what's going on?
Well, I don't know if anyone has a clear read on this, because thank you, Fujimoto, for this, as always, being just very straightforward with your world building and explanations.
We have the crumbs. We have enough to
there's enough
to the gingerbread house, but not maybe open the door.
When the famine drops in and is talking the night back in Falling Devil arc, she comes in and is like, the Death Devil's gonna come and it's gonna be an age of devils. And Nayuta's first response is, that sounds awesome. And then Famine says, yeah, but if that happens, there will be no Chinese food and pizza. So that sets up the devil in Nayuta's mind. That sets up the devils versus human culture, right? It's like humans have tasty food, educational television, all this kind of stuff. You can go play on the roof of the department store in the car. You can have fun like that. That's fun time.
Great.
Nice is just an amazing character.
This is a bratty kid. It's so funny.
Yes, she's great. So there's that, but then she could also just join up with her oldest sister and be like, let's take this shit down.
Live in excess, right? Just rule the world.
I mean, yeah, because she's a control devil. She's one of the strongest devils too, so she can
Have
rule
100
all
dogs,
devils.
have all the food
Yeah,
you want. Yeah.
have as many dogs as I want.
Mhm.
Eat whatever you want. We can make humans do whatever we want. We'll
Mhm.
run the whole world. Humans will be our slaves. Da 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 da. Like all this
Right.
stuff. So I think my understanding is that's what she's pitching. Not let's go help out Fami.
Right.
It's screw all of this.
Let's
Screw
let it
these.
in.
Yeah. Screw this church. Screw public safety. Screw all of these guys.
Mhm.
We just gotta chill for 6 months and then roll with the apocalypse, and we are chilling.
Yes.
Let's just let it all go. We'll devil out. We're devils now.
Right.
That's
that-
the pitch.
And that's a weird distortion of what we've been told is the Control Devil's goal.
Yeah.
Puccietta says at the end of part 1 that all Makima actually really wanted in her own twisted way was like a family and wanted love.
Yes.
And she has that kind of weird. It's like the classic. It's like a character that can read minds or a character that can control people. It's like all they really want is a human connection without those dynamics, right? Like it's like a classic trope.
Yes.
And
Fujimoto loves that
well.
Mm-hmm.
And she covets Chainsaw Man because he's a powerful devil that she becomes has a weird obsession with. Makima, I'm talking about.
Right.
And then Nayuta, bad with names, sorry. Covets Denji because she doesn't use her control powers on him, and he loves her unconditionally without that dynamic, right? And so that's what she sees in him.
That is
more of a brother sister kind of way.
Yeah, that is Pochita's command. At the end of part 1 is you gotta give her hugs.
Yeah,
give her hugs so that she can. You create the world that she wants, which is such an incredible idea.
And Denji seems to have done that very successfully.
Yes.
And it's done from a place of love. It's not done from a place of manipulation. It seems like he has
this dude is too stupid to manipulate.
Exactly. But he makes him perfect for the task that Kishibe leaves him. It's a great. He's in some ways the only person who could do that because he's not ambitious, he's not conniving, he has a weird forgiveness, love, whatever for Makima, and that transfers over. He says at the end of part 1, I still love her. It's why he's able to beat her. He's perfectly positioned to control the Control Devil.
Yes, exactly.
I think the bargain they make at the end of this, that essentially she's always going to be number 1 in his heart. I think he believes that. I don't know if he believes that. It's so hard to read, but I think he definitely does.
I mean, she's satisfied by it for now.
Right, for now.
Yeah, I like your comment that it is a distortion of Makima's perspective, because I read a lot of takes that were this is, she's still Makima at heart.
I think that's a stupid take. I don't agree with that take.
Whoa! He's swinging.
That's just not how stories work. It'd be such a regression.
I mean, I agree that's not happening with Fujimoto went through all of that in part 1 and recreated the Control Devil in this new form, and then gave this sweeping conclusion to the story about changing her environment and making her a new person, and then to be actually she's the same. But also her devil perspective is not like what Makima's was like.
No, it's more like power.
Right. It's a lot more like power, which is devastating. So sad. Oh god.
Well, power was always early on was the prototypical devil perspective, right? It was played for laughs, but it's the Bat Devil probably had similar ideas of I just want to be able to eat humans whenever I want, and live a life of luxury.
Humans are
Like you said, it's very
garbage.
id. It's very
Humans are trash. They're all liars. They deserve to die.
Right.
I should rule humanity with an iron fist, you know?
Right.
Like,
She seems to have been kind of like set back to that, like reset to
I
that
mean,
perspective sometime. Somewhat.
that very baseline devil idea.
Right.
I mean, like she says, it's fine for devils to kill any kind of living thing. When your sister tells you it's fine for me to kill anything, you just go, okay. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Not great.
Yeah, it was.
I thought the one detail that was really devastating is that she doesn't care about her classmates at all. I was like,
oh yeah. Yeah, she was just taking their pudding, you know. Yeah. She just wanted their pudding. I mean, that was very Fammy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, actually, Fammy's right. I should get some more pudding, you know. Like, this stuff is good, actually.
We don't see a lot of her in school, but like when she told Fammy, like, I'm busy, and like it's a joke, but when it's like I have to go to class, and that's how that really ending that really important conversation in such a stupid way, which is very great and a fun time. But it's
hilarious.
It would imply that she like cares about her normal life or her human life, and then this chapter says no, not at all.
Well, I think my read on that was always that she does listen to Denji. You know what I mean? I saw a lot of takes again that like she's manipulating Denji, and I was like, what's happening? Like, am I reading this? Am I blind here? Like, where's the manipulation at? Like,
I think it's just the kind of power dynamic with like Asa and like making Denji not date her and all that. That
right.
People are reading a lot into that. Where I think that was just a way to separate the two characters, like Denji and Asa, so they can come back together later, or they did so in the Falling.
I mean, yeah, there is that as a story device. I also do think there was an aspect of like Nayuta was like, oh, there's another devil woman coming after Denji, you know? Oh, a devil woman after Denji. This.
Oh, I don't even know if she knows now, right? She revealed in the Falling arc that she knows, I think, right? That who War is.
Right.
But like, at that point, I thought it was just like, oh, it's a girl from Denji's school.
I mean, it was Yoru, and Nayuta can definitely smell devils, right? She recognizes devil smell, so she should know that it was like not, it wasn't just some.
It wasn't a normal human.
Wasn't a normal human, and she did not reveal that to Denji, which is kind of nice. I don't know if was it nice, is it manipulative, what it is.
It's crazy how every character knows both of their identities except for they don't know each other's identities. It's like, how much longer can that keep going?
This is stupid. I don't know. Yoru's off the rails. I mean, we'll talk about it when we talk about what's predictions for next chapter, but yeah, Yoru's going crazy. I don't know how much longer. Will Asa ever get the driver's seat back? That's kind of a question on my mind.
That is a big question. I'm so worried about that character because we haven't seen her in so long. Like, we saw her briefly, obviously, but like we haven't spent time with those two characters properly in a long time because things went off the rail immediately when we went back to the
we're still in this Denji arc. We're still in this Denji arc, which this chapter very much reestablishes. Don't get too hype off Yoru.
Mm-hmm. Still got the one Asa moment, like after the end of the Falling arc, like where she decides to join the church and all whatnot.
Right.
And, like, since then, we really haven't got enough. Where is she? I want to get switched back to her.
Yes, Sam. You're getting it. More Yoru. We need more Yoru. This is true.
Awesome.
This is absolutely true.
The real main character. And I think back to Bucky the chicken.
It does. I think at this point we're firmly settled into two main characters, right?
Yeah.
We got Denji and
Denji's back in
both main characters.
Significant amount of this part.
This is still Chainsaw Man. Denji is still the main character. It's still talking about Denji for some fucking reason.
Right.
Speaking.
I'm sorry. I've been
Keep going,
hijacking
keep
this,
going.
but I've got one major question at the end of this chapter, and it's not
Hmm.
really like where are they going or like what the. She says like when I go home, so presumably they're going back to their apartment. Like what trouble may happen. Do you think this worked? Do you think in a situation where like the three of them are in a room, Nayuta will not attack Asa on sight? Like it's not kill on sight anymore. You don't
Oh
think
no,
the like
no.
little
No.
hand, big hand? You don't think that worked?
Not for Asamitaka. I think Nayuta agrees to not join the devil side.
Right.
Basically,
Well,
that was
that seems
that
to
was
be
the
the case.
that was the devil's choice, right?
Mhm.
Nayuta is like, look, okay. Just so much I can talk about. This chapter's so good.
Mhm.
Like Nayuta is trying to pick between the devils and the humans. This last like stretch of time,
Mhm.
humanity has just been making Denji miserable. He
Right.
can't turn into Chainsaw Man. Everybody's yelling at him. Got this
Everybody's
weird girl.
manipulating him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weird girls yelling at him. Barem comes in and he's attacking him. They're sending monsters after her. It's like, screw these guys. Like,
Right.
they all suck. Yoshida sucks. Fumiko sucks. She's trying to keep us from going home. Barem is
Mhm.
crazy. Everybody's insane. Like, leave my brother alone. And so she's just
Right.
like, screw it. These guys all suck. Let's become devils.
But like
And
half
then
of those characters are devils or are being manipulated by devils.
yeah. But like they're all, on the human
Right.
side. You know what I mean? Like they're
And
all
like we said at the
fighting.
start of this conversation, like humanity as a whole seems pretty shitty in this world.
Not, they're not. They don't look too good. As a mass, individual people here and there can have their head on straight, but
Mhm.
the whole thing doesn't look so great.
That does kind
Uh,
of worry me because I feel like it's slipping. It's always like brushed up against like nihilism, but I do wonder if it's like we're gonna care when a big fight happens. If it's like, oh man, as if we don't stop this, society will die. It's like, well, society kind of sucks. Like,
I don't think that will ever be the stakes of Chainsaw Man. It has literally never been the stakes of Chainsaw Man. I
it
don't like.
it's been the stakes on the surface, but it always becomes about interpersonal, right? Like it was the
Right.
stakes when it came down to like the Gun Devil or
I mean, yeah, but the Gundam
Aki
will just
versus
like
Denji, and there's all these innocent people, but it's just the window dressing, right?
we're getting
Like,
we're getting so into it, right? But the Gundam will attack. I mean, that's the point of the list of names, right?
right.
Like it's not the damage isn't. Look at how much stuff he
It's like
blew
you
up.
clearly care about this random name, right? But it's like
It's
the stakes
like
as a whole.
the stakes are all people. It's the
Right.
individual people who died. So this is the list of all the people who died.
Mhm.
I don't care about the buildings, the damage, the piece of the world order, whatever. Those guys all suck. But look at all these individual people who are gone.
Mhm.
Like that's always he always drills it back down to individuals. He just really does not give a shit about like the broad view, the trolley problem shit,
Right.
like these kind of like abstracted views of humanity. He's like, screw it, like who cares?
But
But
the
then,
individuals are worth protecting, right?
yes,
It
and
this
oh,
reminds me of like Asa's mom and how like
mhm,
effective of a chapter that was, like giving that backstory of like I
yeah,
always trip at important moments and like how in a few it's so bad. In a few panels, I really like
leave you down.
their dynamic in just a few panels. Like I like that she's it seems like she's proud of her for going back for the cat, even though it gets her killed. Like all that
Yeah,
she's so good at like in a handful of moments, like really capturing the essence of like tough choices, the essence of like
yes,
what you do when you're what good people and bad people do when you're in that kind of
yes.
position that
It's
the
so
world constantly puts you in.
It's so sick. Speaking of okay, we
Yeah,
talked a little about Asami Taco. We have to talk. I can't let this whole
we've
broadcast
gotten
go
off
by.
the highway too often. This
We
this
don't talk
again.
about Asaden. We have to discuss Asaden because it has been months, almost a year, with no Asaden at all. The only Asaden we've gotten is, him staring at her poster
and being like jealous, right? Like,
and being some kind of inscrutable emotion,
right.
which
being Denji blank face that we keep getting.
The Denji going, like
Yeah.
he doesn't know what the fuck's going on in his own mind, but we get it now. We get the thing.
He's still
Why is he still thinking about Asa? Because they kissed. This is insanity. We peel the curtain back almost all the way on Nayuta. She's off the rails. Don't give a fuck. Denji, we peel back the curtain. Finally, everyone's like, "What's going on in Denji's mind?" Well, we've gotten
the
a
same
little
thing
bit
that's
of
always been
sauce.
going on. With this
He's always thinking about the ladies.
Yes, he is.
He's still thinking about how he can get his potential ex-girlfriend back. And why? Oh, this line, dude, so devastating. That kiss with Asa was the one time I didn't get hurt.
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Fujimoto?
Heartbreaker.
God damn, dude.
Has he kissed anyone other than Rise?
He-Man, though.
Remember,
he had indirect kiss with Makima, the Chupa.
Right, with
Chupa Chups.
The Chupa Chups, and then like
the
biting the thumb and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to remember because I know Rise obviously bit his tongue off, and that was not great. But
right. And Himeno, Reze, Makima.
And you can also take it less literally, and it's like anytime he's like loved someone, he's been hurt.
Yeah.
But he's not a very flowery kind of guy with how he speaks. So
no, he was also probably not a very flowery guy with how he thinks. Right. This is probably
100%.
legit his understanding. This isn't fucking like
subconsciously connections hurt him, but on the surface it's just, man, kissing is a bad time.
Yeah, I've kissed a bunch of times until now and always went horribly wrong. That is true, sir. It has always gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy to see that flame is being kept alive, and by both of them, because Asa's like actions with the church were directly to protect.
Right, it's all about Chainsaw Man. She's
both
a Chainsaw
versions
Man
of him. Yeah,
fan now. Well, not Denji.
I guess
not Denji. She's probably pretty fucking pissed at Denji still.
That's true. Which is
since in her mind he stood her up. Which is we still have more Asaden conflict to resolve, especially now that Yoru has powered up. Yes.
Very fun, but concerning considering they're closer than ever to the truth, right? Like it's just by the fact that like it's got to happen at some point.
Yeah, everybody fucking knows.
Everyone knows.
Nayuta fucking knows. She's not saying, which is crazy to me. She didn't say anything about it. That's also why.
Do you have any thought on who's going to find out first, or if they're going to find out at the same time?
Denji's definitely going to find out first, right?
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be revealed when they're both in the room. And then it's going to be
think so? It's going to be
what's going to be like the Yoru Asa like conflict throughout the whole part will come to a head in that moment. It feels like they're going to find out, and it's going to be at the worst possible time. Right? That's that would be awesome. What has to happen.
I think personally, we're going to get Denji's going to find out first because he's like for as much as we haven't been seeing what's going on in his mind, he's the one who's like most keyed in to the devil world. Like he's got fucking like Nayuta is his sister, and Yoshida is his weird friend dude who keeps bugging him, and Fumiko is they got some kind of thing going on, and Fumiko is following him around, so he's got like public safety on him. He's got the church on. Everyone who knows is surrounding Denji. Meanwhile, Asu's just still fucking alone, dude. Like, oh my god, please, someone hang out with Asumitaka.
Yeah.
Help
Well,
her.
I was sad that like she fought Yoshida, but then it seems like it was revealed that like the new head of the public safety division, I can't remember which one, it's Division 4 or 1. It seems like he was implying that they were just going to kill her if she surrendered. That's kind of how my read on that conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. People are
The
saying
new guy with the glasses that like is not named.
You know, a lot of Yoshida copium that he wasn't trying to kill her, but
Right.
we
I don't know if
Yoshida.
he was trying to kill her, but I feel like public safety.
I mean, I don't think it's a crazy read to
That's
imagine he was trying to kill her, right? Like,
well, just everything about from his design to his like personality is always about obscuring his emotions, right? Like with the hair.
yeah.
So,
But even if he feels bad about it, he's killed before.
That's true.
He's got bodies in the closet already, dude. Like he's doing. This would not be the first time that
but that
Yoshida
was a dumb redneck from America. I mean, who was trying to kill them? Like,
I mean, Asumitaka is a war devil. I don't know.
That's true.
Take her down if you gotta, kind of thing.
Had her pegged from like almost the very beginning, right? Like he's the only character to mention her scars at first. I think later on.
No, he never. Oh, he mentions her scars right away, right?
Right away,
yeah.
Right. I think it doesn't happen again until she's fighting in the church. People are like, "She got those badass scars. What's up with that?"
Yeah.
But before that, he's like the only character to notice.
Yes. And he just sees her go all out at the aquarium, which is very just like Yoru's not.
Not subtlety.
Yeah, Yoru's subtlety is not the best. Okay, she's very smart tactically in battle, but maybe her overall strategic thinking is a little simple-minded.
Well, she doesn't have the control. She doesn't have control over their fight 100%, right? Because of that Yoru also dynamic, and Yoru doesn't care at all about their secret identity or what have you.
No, even though that was apparently her plan, but she did not really,
I think Yoru's the kind of character that would say, "Oh, I was planning that all along," when that might not. Be
yeah.
The case.
I mean, I think she just likes fighting. She gets to fighting. She's not worried about it. She's just having a good time. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was a lot of stuff talking about. We still have more Asuden to discuss.
Sure,
we get it straight up. Mm-hmm. Does Denji like Asa? Answer is yes, to some extent. We still got Asuden is still up, still alive.
Buy stock now.
Buy stock now.
Going to the moon.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna get it. It's happening. Denji and Nayuta shake off Fumiko. Mm-hmm. They discuss devils and humans. Nayuta, hellbent on the destruction of humanity, changes her mind because her big bro loves her. Mm-hmm. Look at that. That's real Fujimoto cinema right there. Yes, you love to see it.
This is cinema.
Yeah. Why did the devil choose to save humanity? It's because of their brother, because of their family. Nothing. No
idiot's love.
Yep. No big arguments. No logic. No reasoning. Screw all that shit. It's hugs. That's what it's all about, baby. It's hugs, baby. All comes back to hugs, doesn't it? Really? Ain't that how it is? A great end to the chapter. Very cute. Very precious. Very disturbing in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
They're heading
her like hanging on his neck, like telling him to like go forward like a dog or something. Yeah, it's so great.
He's looking his most like majestic lion poster face, here I go into the darkness of the alleyway. Yeah. Oh god, Denji, don't open the door. They're heading home. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about where we're going from here. I know you're not completely mega keyed in, but what is your sense? What do you think? What do you think is coming down the line in chapter 150? Ominous ass fucking chapter number.
Right.
Oh god.
That's a big one, but could be nothing.
I know he doesn't really care about that kind of shit, but yeah.
No, not really. Because didn't part 1 end on like 98 or something? It was
Yeah,
like, oh, yeah,
it was
like,
98 chapter long. He just ended when he got there, but
yeah. I don't know where we're going for next chapter. Like, we've got both main characters running around in like a semi-destroyed or going to Hell City.
right.
But we also have a 6-month time window. So it's not all going to come to a head like this week. Like, it's going to...
True.
I feel like we're working our way towards a small time jump. But I feel like a montage chapter of some kind at some point. Like, we got to get closer to the Death Devil. We got to get some semblance of a plan of like what the characters are going to be working towards. And we got to know what Yoru's deal is, because all we know is that she's really excited.
Fuck yes, dude. Yes.
But she's also missing an arm, and it's
Yes. Your lore coming.
I want to see like what the falling action of this insane day is going to be, and I feel like we're heading towards that direction. Like, I don't see them fighting with like Chainsaw Man acolytes for the moment. That's like how I feel.
No, yeah.
What do you think? You've been asking me. What do you think we're going?
I mean, if you ask me what's happening next chapter, I think they're just going to be going back to their apartment. We're going to see what the fuck's going down at the apartment. You know, we're going to resolve this, because I mean, we have to know what happens to the pets. Like, you got like Meowie.
That's a good point. I haven't considered the dogs and the cats. We
can't just leave Meowie. The dogs, you know, they're just Makima dogs. Whatever. She can get more dogs, but
but
Meowie.
The dogs. They
I mean, yes, yeah, you know,
we don't care because they're creepy, and they're really creepy in the Makima chapters. But
right, I mean, I also, you know, I don't think we all have any illusions that Makima has particular attachments to specific dogs. Like the Control Devil just likes to have dogs. You know?
She's like the feeling of having.
Yeah, if her dogs die, she'd probably be bummed, and she gets some new dogs, and she'd be feeling okay. But Meowie, this is the cat. Right. You gotta save the cat. We've had this 3 times now.
They have to save their shark manga too.
Yeah, you gotta get the shark kick packed up. You know, yeah, they gotta get the shark kick packed up. They gotta, you know, Denji's still taking care of that plant. You know, like they gotta get the food out the fridge. They gotta move. You know, they have to move apartments. Move out of their wiretapped apartment. Jesus.
Is their apartment getting blown up too? Are we getting rid of all semblance of homes?
I don't know. Who knows?
I think so, probably, because Fumiko mentions that like the apartment's being watched.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's not going to be good. They're not just going to settle in.
No. I mean, if they go inside, they definitely shouldn't open the door. No. You know, don't open the door, baby.
Yeah, I think that apartment might be done for. Probably not next chapter, but probably in the next. Three.
I think probably next chapter.
Things do move fast. It's hard.
This is Chainsaw Man, maybe. You know,
well, it just depends though. Like this entire chapter took place in like 5 feet into an alley. Like you would have thought.
Yep.
they're sprinting away from the heroic sacrifice and the mob, and then like everything happens in like 10 feet from where we last left off. So it's hard to say. You never know.
Well, this was the morning. They were running all night, you know.
Oh, I guess
they were hiding away. This is already a time skip, so
it's subtle. That.
I think we're gonna get a dramatic scenario at the apartment that's gonna get set up, and then we will cut back over to what resulted to Asa and Yoru from the night before. I think this.
Do you think they're heading there?
To where? Asa's apartment?
No, their apartment's dead, but are gone. But do you think Yoru and Asa are heading to Denji's apartment?
Denji's apartment? Okay, I hope so, because that'd be funny.
Thinking that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I posted that idea up on the Twitter, but and it is an idea floating around. But by all lore rights, they do not know where it is because Nayuta erased their memories. and send
I
them
didn't
back
consider
to
that. Yeah.
send them back to being stood up. The
Okay,
day
yeah.
before, the only way it would be different is if Yoru's power up broke the mind control, because she's
Right.
really strong now.
I think that'd be weird to like, or I think that'd be a more significant moment. I don't know. I don't think that the power up has caused them to get those memories back.
Yeah, it would have to be revealed next chapter, right? Like they go back to the apartment and then Yoru shows up and she's like, "Control, I'm here to fuck you up because you mess with my memories." That kind of thing, which it could happen.
I feel like they're going back to the school.
Austin, they might go back to Yuko's apartment, Yuko's little place, Yuko's little hovel.
I don't think we're seeing Yuko. I don't think we're seeing anything connected to Yuko anymore.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
You disagree? Oh,
for sure.
I feel like
absolutely.
I feel like all that has been resolved. Like, I know that she never found out what happened to her, but I think that like when they parted ways, there was a quiet understanding that they would never see each other again.
Well, I think there's that, but I feel like, revealing
getting revenge from the fake Saw Man. That is
revealing that Chainsaw Man like killed Yuko to Asa could, bring her back around, and then Yoru and Asa are both on the kill Chainsaw Man thing. After Asa gets back in love with Denji, you gotta keep the fucking love hatred dynamic in balance. It's like, oh wait, Denji stood me up for good reason. Oh shit, but now Chainsaw Man killed my only friend of ever.
Right.
Something like that. You gotta swing it back the other way.
I can't remember if it was you or someone else, but the fact that someone pointed out that she's barefoot and how that's like such a bummer.
Yeah. Yep. Got no shoes, got one arm. Where's she gonna go? I think we will find out next chapter, because I think it would be a little bit crazy to leave it for another week again, but he's done it before, so you
think we'll get both Denji going back to the apartment and wherever the events of whatever Yoru's doing?
I think so. We've this last stretch of chapters since Kumbaya, since Barem's singing on the roof, we've been bouncing back and forth between Asa and Denji pretty consistently. So we had like the Asa stretch at the beginning where you'd have a little dash of Denji sprinkled in, and then we had the Denji stretch where you had a little dash of Asa sprinkled in, and now we've been balancing back and forth. Still a little more weighted on Denji because he has more stuff to resolve right now.
Everything, yeah.
Right, and he still has to become Chainsaw Man again, but we're going back to Asa and Yoru as needed in the last chapter.
Time-wise, I'm not quite sure if it lines up now, because I didn't realize how much time had passed between last chapter and this chapter. Because when Yoru busts out, there's already a burnt body. The fighting has been happening in the city already, it seems. It has already progressed far, because that's the whole point. She's like, "Oh, war has come back," but were they just in their apartment quietly while the city was going to hell around them? It's kind of odd.
We won't necessarily find out. They had put their uniform on. My read was that they put it on to go fight. They were like, "Oh shit, monsters! We're the devil hunter. I mean, we are the fucking heroes of the city right now." I was like,
and I guess also watching the TV as the church fell apart.
It's like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then Yoshida busts in and caused all sorts of problems. But we will discuss that more next week on the break week episode. We're rounding out an hour 15 here. Good time to close. Yep. No chapter this week. Oh man, it's always disappointing because it's so gas. Every chapter has just been cooking. We will see next time. Are they gonna make it to the apartment? What's the deal with your thank you, Sam, for holding it down on this episode with some technical difficulties,
No, it was
some
a fun time.
scheduling issues. It was a good one-on-one episode, the first two-person podcast, but we do what we got to do around here at the Public Safety Special Broadcast. Thank you, Sam, for coming on again. Thank you, Rory, for coming on a little at the beginning. Very unfortunate about the internet issues. I will definitely probably have you both back again so we can keep talking. I will see all the listeners again. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, comment, do everything. We'll be back here next week with a special episode, and I'll see you all then. Goodbye.
Take care, everybody.